Okay, very good. All righty. Well, we got about a minute left. Bear with us. And we are now live, Sarah.
All right.
Oh. Hi, Sarah. There's Sarah Sheets, right? Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah. I'm Mitch, by the way.
Hi, Mitch.
How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Sure. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of course. Let's see here. I'll just throw this up. Let's see. Sarah, what do we have? Like 100 slides? Is that right?
At least.
Just
All on
kidding.
thread.
No, we do not have 100 slides. We want people to join this call. This is not going to be 100 slides, I guarantee. If it does take us 100 slides, we're in the wrong business here. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Well, I got 7 o'clock. What do you have, Sher? You got the same?
I got 7.
Yeah, maybe we can go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining. People may be jumping in. You know how it is. It's Monday night of all nights for a Zoom call, right? Maybe hopefully you guys aren't zoomed out. So Sarah had the right idea. Let's do it Monday night because by the end of the week, enough of this, right? Okay. Well, welcome to the CTC member orientation. I'm Mitch Baker. And
I'm Sarah.
Sarah. And we just want to, Sarah's our director of member experience, and I'm a member of the CTC training squad. And maybe Sarah, if you wouldn't mind, kind of go into your role there a little bit. We'll, wait, we got to make sure we have all the
27 slides to review.
27. No, ask questions, folks. This is very informal, very open. Please ask questions. This is for your benefit. And if we're not answering your questions, obviously we're going to get you an answer. So, but anyway, no, there are not 27 slides, but just real quick, we'll have introductions. We're going to talk about group bike rides, which seems to be a hot topic for a lot of folks who join our club. So Sarah had the right idea to address that on this call. We're going to talk about posting a training event. Just something to make you aware of. You don't need to train alone. We'll show you how you can possibly invite others to train with you. Okay. And then we thought we'd go through the member web page, kind of walk you through it a little bit, make sure you found all the things that could assist you in being a member of CTC. So, but Sarah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself there? Thank you. I'll shut up.
Sarah. I'm the director of new member experience. It's a new role, but I've been doing it actually for years, unofficially. So
Yep.
Basically, I just try to contact the new people when we see them come in, and we're going to go over basically everything that I went over tonight when I get a hold of these people. So, and then you guys can ask some questions.
Absolutely. And I'm Mitch. I am a official title is co-captain of the training squad, but I'm a member of the training squad. Training squad is a group of individuals that get together. We come up with ideas for clinics. A lot of you have provided feedback and input on certain types of clinics. For example, we just had our swim clinic yesterday with Ashley and Ann, Coach Ashley and Ann. And we have other clinics that are coming up. And also the training squad is, Sarah's a member of the training squad as well. We do a lot of leadership for group rides, group runs, open water swims, and so forth. And a lot of our experienced athletes are members of the training squad, and you'll probably see as clinics come up, you'll see their names here and there. But that's my job, is to kind of administer and work with our coach. If you're not aware, we do have a coach aligned to CTC, and that's Aaron Geiser. Aaron is our official CTC coach. And I work with Aaron and so forth. And just to make a pitch, one thing that is a great benefit of this club is our Coach's Corner, which is once a month. Aaron will get on Facebook Live and answer questions that you may have about anything related to triathlon, running, swimming, biking, what have you. He's a very knowledgeable person, and when it comes to everything about nutrition and things of that nature. So take advantage of that Coach's Corner. I believe it is the 22nd on this month, and there is an event created. So always check your events to find out when Coach's Corner is going to be held. So anyway, without further ado, because we want to make sure we answer all your questions, Sarah and I will just do some brief overviews of some of the key things we have here. Sarah, what is it about group bike rides that you think we should share?
Okay, the group bike rides. We do a weekday ride, which is my favorite ride. It's for true new beginners. That's why we made it. It's an out and back on the trail. And we start at different locations based on the construction on the trail, honestly. So I'm going to have to go out and ride here soon and figure out what parts of the trail are open. But the exciting part is this year we have the Lunkin Connector open, so we can go that way on the trail. So on the third, we usually do the weekday rides on Thursdays. We don't talk about power. We don't talk about watts. We don't talk about FTP. We talk about how slow we can go and still make it to get to the taco truck before it closes. It's great. We generally stay in a pack, but you can do whatever you want. And I say we generally do 20 miles, but sometimes people turn around early if they're not feeling it, and then they can save us a table at wherever we're going to after the ride. We have had some faster people ride with us before, and I think Marcus rode with us once. He's pretty fast, so he would ride ahead and he'd shoot off sometimes off the trail, up the road, up Kugler Mill, and he'd come back. He rode about 30 miles to our 20. It was fine. So it's just whatever you want to do, you come as you are. And it's a great way to start riding with us, and a great way just to meet people in the club. So those are generally our Thursday rides. And I'm going to start posting those soon because this has been a really mild winter for us.
Really fantastic.
Well, on Saturdays, we do Mitch's Hill rides. He can talk about that in a minute. And then on Sundays, we do the longer rides, and those are road rides. So we have 3 different groups for that. The beginner group is the Mod Squad, which I lead again. We start 14 to 16 miles per hour. So if you can keep 14 to 16 miles per hour, you can stay with us. And we do regroup. We do no one left behind. The middle group, 16 to 18 miles per hour-ish. They're Mod Spice. And then the Spicy Gang, they run 19 plus. So that's our, real fast crew. I think what we're planning on doing this year is going to run Mod Spice and Mod Squad together. So if you think, hey, I can start out and see if I can hang as long as I can with Mod Spice, and you start dropping back, you're going to end up hitting the Mod Squad. So you're not going to be left alone forever out there. So we have a bike library. We're going to get to that in a minute. But we have a lot of routes we ride around town, a lot of different venues, and we'll change it up, and we'll post all of that in the events. We'll post who is the group leader, what the pace is to remind you guys, and then where we're starting from and how long the ride's going to be.
Yep.
If you want to talk about hills, Mitch.
Yeah. A lot of triathletes find out, dang, there's hills on this race, what have you. Anyway, we started a ride on Saturdays, Saturday morning. I'm looking to start them. When's the pig, Sarah? May 7th? May 5th?
May 7th. It's late this year, yeah.
Well, sometime in May, we're going to start ramping them up because I've learned in the month of April, nobody does anything in this town except the pig, training for the pig. So come May, I start posting on Saturday mornings what we call the Indian Hill Drill Ride, which is a route in Indian Hill, which is comprised of a lot of hills. Some are challenging, some of them are relatively mild, but for the most part, it's to give us an opportunity to ride some elevation. Okay. The nice thing about it is we start in Madeira. You can ride as many hills and you're no more than maybe a mile or a mile and a half from where we start at all times. So if you're not used to hills and you only want to do 2 or 3, the ride is designed so that you can get back to the start point if you need to. Okay. The ride on average is about 2 hours and it's about 3,000 feet of elevation, but there's some really good hills in that area. And we find it low traffic for the most part on Saturday mornings if we go out early enough. So look for the events, posting those rides. So, yeah.
And the events this year, we post them in the Facebook page, but they also go out in a newsletter every Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you'll get the email about the events as well.
Yeah.
How long
And-
typically are the Sunday rides?
It depends. Like we'll generally start out in the 30-mile range and then we'll ramp up because people are training for different races. So it's hard to like get a true mileage, but we try to keep it 30 to 50.
Yeah. Same with moderately spicy and Spice Gang. They average anywhere from, like Sarah says, we start like yesterday, we rode a group of us, we put in 40 miles. Okay. And then we'll slowly ramp it up as the season goes by. Plus we can start earlier. We couldn't start until 9 o'clock yesterday, but a lot of our rides, once the time change and the weather, we'll start at 7 a.m. and get in a good 2.5, 3, sometimes up to 4 hours, depending on the route. So
there's generally, because there are so many different races, there may be people that tag on at the end, be like, if I only do like a 30-mile ride, somebody may be like, I need to do 15 more miles or whatever. And they'll go out and they'll make a route and you can go with them.
Right.
There's also people that do runs off the bike. Bitch is not a runner. He'll let you know that. So he
I'm not a runner, nor a biker, nor a swimmer. Anyway, but no, that and that'll be in the events. And that again, the event is our communication tool as to, is it going to be just a bike ride? Or are we going to we've done some open water swims, aqua bikes. We've done an open water swim and go right to a bike. Again, check the event to see what is going on in that particular venue. Because, a lot of times we'll go to East Fork, Caesars Creek, Stone Lick, Cowan Lake, Houston Lake, whichever, and do an open water swim and then transition to a bike ride, depending on the interest, frankly.
Is Brian doing open water swims this year? Okay.
I beg your pardon?
Brian doing open water swims this year too?
Yes. So that's another big thing that we're doing. We're going to do an open water swim clinic, and these will be posted this week. We got a triathlon transition clinic coming up. We have which will, that's I'll have to check on the dates. My apologies. I believe that's May the 10th, but check the events. We also have what we call Race Prep Week Clinic. That's going to be a Zoom call. We have a panel of experts, people from our squad who are going to be on there with our coach. And their whole premise of that call is going to be, how do you prepare for that big race? What are the things you should do the week before the race? And then they'll take questions and so forth on that call. And then the Triathlon Transition Clinic is a practical clinic where you will go to Voice of America Park and you will practice transitioning with our experts. Okay. It's a pretty cool clinic. It's going to be about 2 hours, but again, more detail on that. And then Brian Wagner has a house at Hidden Valley Lake in Indiana. He's going to also provide us a venue to do an open water swim clinic with our swim coach, Ann Gardner. Okay. And again, we'll be posting that information. So if you want to learn more about how to do an open water swim, and then the nice thing about Brian is he will also open it up for just open water swim practices throughout the season. And
He'll do that
again, we'll post
individually, like on his own time. If you reach out to him and you guys can
Yep.
coordinate the time.
Yep. He's really good about that. Really good. He's got the perfect place for an open water swim practice. Very low traffic, and the water is pretty decent at Hidden Valley Lake. So
Also, there's a
Uh-huh.
bike clinic coming up.
Oh yeah, mention that. Talk about that. What's going on there? You're leading that.
May 13th.
Oh.
No, yeah, May 13th.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the bike clinic. It's an introductory clinic for bikes. You learn how to change a flat. You learn how to, check your brakes. You learn how to clean your chain.
Mm-hmm.
You learn
Yep.
what you need in a flat kit.
Yep.
So just basic bike maintenance.
And that's Nathan Martin with Sarah and Shane. Is that
Yep.
right? Shane Pack and Dan
Shane.
Catalano. We had, last time I checked, we had 25 openings for that clinic. 15 were filled. So if you're interested in that clinic, please go on to the event. There's a link to a registration. There's no charge for that clinic. And then make sure you register for these clinics. Okay. We ask that you register in advance. So we have a good idea of how many people will be attending and so forth. So, Sarah, you want me to go into the rules of Fred? I'm not going to read them verbatim, but I just want to make sure these people are aware of the rules.
Yes.
All right, real quick.
Safety first, go for it.
All right, let me just do a real quick share here, folks. Bear with me. All right. All right. I'll push this document out. It's going to get shared, but we, obviously group bike. Can you see the screen? I'm sorry. First off, can everybody see my screen? Thank you. All right. All right. Couple of things. Obviously, group rides, safety is important. It's fun to go out with a group, but we do have some guidelines and things that we want to do in order to keep you safe. Couple of things, obviously our rides are NOLB, or no one left behind. Okay. We have people who lead these rides and sweep these rides. We make it a point that, hey, safety first, you got to make sure that the group stays together and so forth. So that's our general mantra. Aero bars are permitted. There are a lot of groups out there that don't permit aero bars, but we do allow it. All we ask is that you know how to use them and that you're safe in using them, and that, try to keep at least 3 feet away from the person in front of you if you're in a pace line, because of the reaction time and so forth. You know if you're not comfortable on your aero bars in a group situation, that's fine. Just get on the horns. Okay. Couple of general things. Please review these rules when we push them out. Just be aware of them because it is part of the safety. And then also, this is a big deal. Believe it or not, a lot of people think it said 7 a.m. no, that's when we leave. So please show up early. Be ready to roll at the posted time when the ride is going to roll. Okay. We've had a lot of people show up right at 7 as we're pulling out of the parking lot. So just kind of keep that in mind. And there, as Sarah mentioned before, these are the various speed groups that we've adopted. A lot of the rides we're going to try to coordinate this coming season is you can start off with a spicy gang and then drop back to a moderately spicy group if need be. You'll know from the posting if that's going to be a joint ride. Same thing if you start out moderately spicy and you're going to drop back to Mod Squad, same thing. Okay. We'll be coordinating a lot of those. And these are just the general rules. Many of them you probably already know from if you've been riding a lot of times, but probably the biggest one that I see is don't overlap wheels. Okay. Because if you do, and the person in front of you goes to the left or the right and they smack your wheel, everybody's going down. And I'm not going to read these to you, but I just ask that you please take some time to know them. You'll see a lot of times when you ride with a group, The coordinator is going to make sure that you're aware of these guidelines, especially things like announcing hazards in the road. If you're going to pass somebody, make them aware of the fact that you're going to pass them. Also, if you come to intersections and so forth, make sure you signal. All right. And don't hesitate to shout. We've had a lot of situations where people had a flat tire and the group goes on, but nobody yelled mechanical. Okay. Or biker off is another one, you know. Anyway, just take a moment, make yourself familiar with these rules. We call them the rules of Fred. Okay. And if you have any questions about them or anything, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Sarah or the group court or the ride coordinator, okay, who's leading the ride. So any questions on the Fred rules or just in general? Just
This year, we're asking people to either have a road ID or put a piece of paper in their flat kit with an emergency contact information in it in case something happens and you go unconscious. We know we know who to call. Like if you're allergic to anything, put that on there. Put any kind of information on there that we would need to know in an emergency situation.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah, for reminding me of that. Yeah, road ID, or like Sarah said, a piece of paper with the emergency information. Put it in your flat kit. There's other medic alert has been mentioned. Some people have that. That's fine. You know, again, just anticipation if something were to happen. We've been very fortunate, but something will happen. You know, and we'll go from there.
To me, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions about the etiquette guidelines? We'll push those out. Please take a moment to review them and get with me if you have any questions, or Sarah. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing we wanted to share is, and I'll pull this up because this is something we really would like to encourage everyone to do. One moment, please. Okay. A lot of words. Bottom line is, if you're training and you want others to train with you, let's say you know that, give you an example. We had a young lady who trained every Thursday morning at 5:30 a.m. She ran track. Well, we encouraged her to, and she did. Maria started a Track Thursday event. Every Thursday she ran track, and now she's built up a pretty good amount of members who join her or at Withrow or at Madeira. So if you know that you have some kind of training, like an open water swim, a bike ride you want to do, a run that you do, you know, and you want to post it for other members to participate, these are the guidelines that you can follow. And, you know, these are the people, and again, I'll send this out, myself, Rebecca, Sarah, these are individuals who are approved to post an event, and they can also invite all the members of CTC when they set up that event. So if you got something in mind, like you want to have let's say you can't do Thursday night with Sarah, but yet you like to go riding every Tuesday evening and you'd like others to join you, consider posting an event. And the reason we did this is there was a tendency for people to just throw on the Facebook, hey, I'm going for a ride tomorrow night. Anybody want to go with me? And a lot of back and forth and wasted time and energy because nobody knew when, where, how far, you know, things like that. So these individuals have all agreed to help make sure that your post, your event, is on par with all the necessary information. And I'm not going to read it to you, but you can take a look at it. But as Sarah mentioned, there are certain things we do like to require, like road ID, obviously helmets, things like that for a bike ride, certain things for a run, for a swim. So this information, these individuals, if you reach out to them, and their email address is posted here, if you reach out to them and say, hey, I want to set up an event for Saturday or what have you, I want to do an open water swim and I want to put in a 30-mile, they'll work with you in setting up that event, posting it on Facebook, inviting all the members. Then that event should get in the newsletter, and it also goes on our website. So that's why we want to have some consistency in how we're posting events. And the other thing is, let's say we have a couple of these. They're called open events. Now, these are open to anybody who is maybe a member of CTC or not a member of CTC. Okay, we have Don Yeoman, for example. He has a running group. A lot of them don't, they're not members of CTC, but every Thursday evening, he and his running group run at Withrow Track. So he's agreed to let us post that event on our Facebook page, and I create the event for him. He tells me when and where, the distance, the workout, and everything else, and it gets posted that way. So we've had people do that. I think, I don't know if you're all familiar with the Cleves time trials. They're a major event out in Cleves put on by the Cincinnati Cycle Club, I believe. We'll post that as a non-CTC event just so our members are aware of it. And some people, well, we've had, a good number of people participate in that event. But since it's not officially our event, we have to make sure we designate the difference. That's all we ask. Very important, if you do create an event and you just want CTC members invited, because of our insurance, we have to make sure it's for members only. But you can post a non-event if you want, invite your friends and so forth. Just understand that it's not going to be sanctioned by CTC or covered by the insurance that we get from USAT. So, but I will put these out there, and all I ask, you don't have to train alone. That's a nice thing about this club is you can create something and get people to train with you if you wish. Okay. All right. Any questions on those? All right. I will make sure those get pushed out to the club. All right. What else, Sarah? You want to go to the website or? I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go to the website.
Okay. One moment, please. All right. 1 second. Let's get that up there. All right. Everybody see it? All right. Thank you. Does everybody have I think, Sarah, when they join, they get the log on and everything. Is that correct?
Yeah, I can give it to it. I can give it to you right now.
Okay. All right.
You're on. Oh, you got it.
Uh-oh.
You have
There
the
we
old
go.
one saved? Okay.
There it is. No, I probably do. All right. This is if you haven't been here, check it out. This is a great site. You got our club sponsors, group training information. This is, where we, we'll post things about group training, like our guidelines and so forth. Sarah, you want to talk about the bike route library? You want me to open that up for you?
Yes. The bike route
Okay.
library is my favorite part of the member login. It has almost all of the routes that we use. And if we come up with a new route, we add it on here. This is new from last year. So this one is an interactive map. You can just pick out like from miles. You can pick that and it'll show you routes that you can do. There's also GPX files, in there that you can, so you can see where in town it is and how long it is.
Let's see.
Really, it's really neat. Like you can go around and play in this for hours. It's fantastic. And there's the GPX file. So if you guys have a bike computer, or you can load these onto your watch, and we can talk you through that in a different time if that's something you're interested in, then you can have the route with you and you won't be completely dependent on the leaders when we go out. Or if you want to ride on your own, you can do that too.
And the nice thing is it's set up also, there's a browse list created, so you can get to sit there and just scroll on down until you find the distance you're looking for. and then they'll provide some information about, you know, where it starts, and then there's the link. All right. The nice thing is if you have a favorite route and you don't see it listed on here, just notify Sarah or myself and we can get it put on here. Okay, if you got some favorite routes. You know, but as you can see, we got quite a bit. And that's really convenient, especially if you can download them onto your Garmin and so forth. And it gives you kind of an idea, you know, like total elevation and so forth. So it's really worthwhile to check this out. Okay. All right.
Does everybody have the login for the member page? Or do we need that? No. Okay. I can post that in the event.
Okay. The other thing we want to make sure you are aware of, now this is the club calendar. This is why it's important that we post your events in the right format. That way, because we do have members who are not on Facebook, when we post an event on Facebook, it will then translate to this calendar for members only. Okay, so you can actually go out here and see everything that has been posted. Like there's our social, right? There's Coach's Corner. Yeah, social. But this is why, and you know, if you put an end date and an end time and all that stuff in the technical side of the Facebook, it'll then transfer. So that's kind of cool that people can access it that way. Okay. The other benefit of the club that we want to make sure you're aware of is the 12-week training plan. Now, this is a plan that I work with Aaron on. Aaron Geiser, our coach. Okay. All you have to know is that you have to have Training Peaks. Now, it's free. Training Peaks is a software that Aaron uses to transfer training information to you. You tell Aaron what type of race you're going for, how much time do you have to train during the week, and he will then create a plan for you and push it out via Training Peaks. Okay. So if you get a chance and you're not on a training plan, all you have to do is come out to this particular site, click on training plan sign up, and then there it is. You provide him this basic information. He gets notified of it, and he will work with you on creating that particular plan. And again, Training Peaks, it's free software. You don't have to get the premium plan, but just go ahead and provide him this basic, you know, some pretty decent information. Okay. It's very simple to complete. And I don't know, is anybody on the call signed up for one of these training plans? Skip, you have? Good.
Yep.
Good. How have you found it to be fairly friendly to work with?
Yeah, I like Training Peaks. It's pretty neat actually.
Cool.
And the plan that was provided is good. Challenging but good.
Welcome to Aaron. All right. Again, that's a benefit of the club. You know, you don't have to use it, but we found a lot. I think last year, I believe we had over 45 people sign up for this training plan. A lot of people have their own coaches. That's fantastic. Completely understand. Nothing that says you have to use Aaron, but that is something that is provided. Okay. All right. Any questions on that? Very good. Okay.
Speaking of, so we do socials every month, and the
Mhm.
first one is coming up in a few weeks. It's going to be at March 1st. Also, that's really low key. There's no training involved. We just hang out, drink, and eat. So you should
What? I thought you don't make people run
No.
before? No. Okay, good.
You can
Maybe
stay.
I'll show up.
You can say.
Oh. Well, what question? This is your time, and I'm sorry. Gone over just a bit. What questions do you all have for us?
I can go through all of
Anything
Dan's
we may
questions.
have overlooked? What questions did Dan have? I'm trying to remember.
He
Let's
wanted
see.
I just talked about the rides. We did that. Got the rides.
Let's see. Oh, okay, here they are.
I think we might have covered them.
I'm a bit in. Yeah, I think we have. Well, first off, if you're not sure about one question, he says, how do I build up my courage? I'm new and a bit intimidated about how to really get started with the club. What's the best place for me to get started? Sarah's social.
The
I
socials
would,
and the Thursday rides.
yeah,
The
a
best place.
Thursday ride. That I agree. We've got a lot of people connected and training with each other via Sarah's Thursday night rides. Um, you know, the other thing is, if you're going to, you can check on Facebook. If you see an event, let's say you want to do a Spice Gang ride, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or anybody who's hosting that particular ride. Anybody hosting a ride, if you contact them, and you can contact them via Facebook, what have you, or myself, we'll make sure that you're welcomed, okay, to any group ride, and we'll work with you. Uh, don't hesitate. All right. We'll definitely make it worth your while and make sure that Dan asked about, okay, not comfortable or confident in doing a repair, changing a flat. I don't want to hold up the group. Can I still go on a group ride? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're having a struggle, believe me, there are enough people that if you're struggling with changing a flat or anything like that, they'll help you. Okay. Nobody's going to sit there and tell you, sorry, you're on your own. That's not the way this club operates. Okay. And you will get assistance and we'll get moving on. Everybody has a flat. Everybody. And everybody takes a lot of time to change a flat because it's just the nature of flats. Okay. So don't feel bad and don't let that hold you up from going on a group ride. Okay. We've talked about group rides. I think Sarah's covered that pretty well about, if you're not sure, reach out as to what ride you think you should go on. Okay. If you're not sure of your average speed, or you're not used to hills, just ask. The host of the ride is there to help you. Okay.
The Thursday rides are another good one if you don't even know how fast you are to ride with us, because then we can tell you. Because
Yep.
we're generally not riding fast. So we're probably 15 miles an hour average, I would say. But again, you can do whatever you want there. So
right.
You can bring Marcus
Absolutely.
and ride 50 miles. I don't care.
And confidence comes with riding. I mean, it's like the hills. I get so many people say, I can't do hills. Well, yes, you can. It doesn't mean you have to do all of them, but you can do 2 or 3 or start off with 1. I've had people do that. They just ride up 1 hill, then they come back for do 2 hills. I mean, it's okay. We understand. That's, people are building up. Plugged in, we talked about the newsletter. Hopefully all of you are receiving the newsletter. That's a great job by Rebecca Klingenberger putting that newsletter. That newsletter is a great place to check all the events as well. Okay, as well as Facebook. And then somebody asked about, we talked about setting up an event if you're looking for a workout partner, okay, or people to work out with. Well, think about setting up an event. All right. And then somebody asked about a swimming instructor in Northern Kentucky. And my recommendation there was, we got Ann Gardner and Ashley Yanza are 2 really top-notch swim coaches that work with us and put on clinics. So, if you got a question about swimming, don't hesitate to reach out to either one of them. And I know we'll set up one-on-one time with you. If you want to learn how to become a more efficient freestyle stroke, Ann is great to work with. Okay. Ashley's pretty busy right now. She does high school coaching and so forth. But Ann made it known that, hey, I'm here to help anybody in the club become a better swimmer. So take advantage of that. Okay, great.
I know a lot of our people also swim at Blue Ash and Powell Crosley, the YMCA's here.
Yeah.
The master's program at Powell Crosley, we basically run. Mitch can.
Yeah. The masters, there's a lot of great master teams. I know Emmy Lyons has one, Powell Crosley has one, Blue Ash has a masters team. So if you're looking to work out with others, in swimming, that's another great place to reach out. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I can connect you with somebody at those particular groups. Okay. All right. What question? Any other questions? This is great. Hopefully you benefited
So-
from this. Yes.
So
Nancy.
I'm feeling quite overwhelmed. I'm a beginner, newbie. I haven't been on a bike in 6 or 8 years.
Mhm.
The thought of a 30-mile ride is not even in my ballpark. So I'm a runner.
Mhm.
I've been swimming for 2 months, not doing
Good.
well at it. How do I meet up with other folks who are just really trying to get their, get going? Also, I'm in Northern Kentucky, which is an additional challenge. But the thought of even joining you for the very slowest group for a 20 or 30-mile ride is not even, I can't even imagine that right now. Am I in the wrong place?
No.
Okay.
No.
How do I
No.
do this?
Like I said, the Thursday rides that I do, there are a lot of people that only do 10 miles. They'll ride out 5 and they'll ride back 5.
Okay.
So
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
You can
If I can work my way up to 10 miles, I can join you on the Thursdays.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if I'm
Absolutely.
slow. I'm a slow
Yeah.
runner. I'm a very slow swimmer.
It's okay.
Oh, are
Okay.
you Nancy that
I
told you?
am. I'm
Yeah.
the swim
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. Reach out to Ann, and she
I
may
will.
know somebody in Northern Kentucky.
I've been kind of looking. I swim at the Y, at the RC Deer Y, and they don't
Oh, good.
have individual lessons there. The Y doesn't seem to have anybody, but maybe Silver Lake. I'm going to reach out to them.
I would reach
need
out
some help.
to Lake.
Yeah, Silver Lake, I've heard. There's we have is it Ashley? Oh, I'm sorry. Name's escaping me. She married Bruce.
Oh, Ashley Warren.
Yeah, yeah. She lives in Northern. I think she goes to Silver Lake. You may want to check with her and see if she has a contact there for I know she's a pretty good swimmer, so she probably has
Goes to
some
Silver
contact.
Lake, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do I
Yeah.
connect with other people who are just starting, who are just learning the ropes?
There are quite a few people that I've contacted that are true beginners. They didn't
Okay.
even have bikes.
Mhm.
So you're
Well-
not alone.
Yeah, yeah. So how do I do that? My goal is for a sprint in September. So I think
Good.
that's doable. I think that's a
Good.
doable goal.
Oh yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
runner. I did the pig last year, so I
Excellent.
need a transition to something besides running.
Okay. There are a bunch of true beginners. That's a great idea. I
Yeah,
can
how
try
do
to
we-
get a
how do we
bunch of
connect?
true beginners together.
Okay.
I will make a list
That would be
Yeah.
wonderful.
of true
Why
beginners.
don't we do that? And we can actually, we talked about, Sarah, about organizing some rides for
Mhm.
people who are just basically new to the whole paceline concept.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be a long ride, but we could talk about the rules of Fred and
Mhm.
talk about paceline, how to work in a paceline, because those are the things that we can do with some. And then as far as the swimming is concerned, one thing you can do is, and we've had people do this, don't hesitate. Let's say you work out a particular time, Nancy, swim wise. Is
Usually
it fairly,
Fairly
if it's
consistent. Mhm.
if it's consistent, then get with me. We can post it as an event and say, hey, I swim at this time, at this Y, or what have you. You can do that. And that person may not be able to join you, but they may link up with you for something else.
Okay.
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 That's why, if we can give some context and detail around it, somebody may join you. Okay.
Even if I can
So,
find a couple of
Happy
people.
to do it. Same with runs.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I run with Tri-State, so I'm good on
Okay.
running.
Okay.
I don't think I have sent you my email or Facebook message about my 500-word thesis for the intro to the club. So I will do that as well. Okay.
Okay.
There's a
No,
few.
that's a
that I
great
missed.
idea. Yeah, we've talked about putting on just a real live, in-person clinic on biking. If you can, have you signed up for the bike maintenance clinic or anything like that?
I have not. The one I saw was already full, so I'll look again.
Yeah.
She was just entered into the group like this week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you give me the password again too?
I posted it in the group, but it's right here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
I'll
don't
check. All right.
try to remember. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Check events, folks. There's a lot of great stuff in the events pocket. Check the newsletter. There's a link in the newsletter to the event. So that way you can be made aware of all the great things that we're doing, especially on the clinic side. The bike flat clinic, I think we had, what did I say, Sarah, 10 openings still, so that's a great, and there you'll connect with a lot of people who are just relatively new, Nancy, if you can make that clinic. Okay. All right. All right. Anything else we can cover for you folks? We appreciate, we went over a little bit. Sorry. That's me blabbing about Fred. Okay. All right. Hey, hope to see you on a ride or a swim, not a run. But if anybody doing the pig besides Nancy, or who else is
Everybody's doing the pig, Mitch.
Everybody. All right. Well, I'll see you at the pig because I'll be at the CTC support tent for the pig.
It's going to be on
So-
Gilbert again.
Yep, going to be on Gilbert, yelling and screaming at everybody, running up there and say, "You're all idiots." Anyway, all right. Thank you all very much for joining
Thank you
us.
very much.
And we'll push out the documents and don't hesitate to
you.
reach out. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks.